It was a mansion fit for kings and queens, walls bathed in the glow of daylight, chandeliers scattering glints of amber on gleaming marble, and windows so high they appeared to graze the sky. Yet within its splendor lingered a quiet heavier than granite. In a corner of the spacious parlor sat a young girl, her legs still, her gaze as calm as a frozen pond. She was the child of one of the city's wealthiest men, a figure whose name unlocked opportunities, swayed markets, and hushed boardrooms. But all his riches, authority, and influence had faltered where it mattered most. His little girl had never taken a step. Specialists from around the globe had arrived, each with expertise, assurance, and intricate remedies, but departed with the same headshakes and soft sighs. Her condition was unique, they claimed, irreversible. They thought the man could purchase the moon if he desired, but he couldn't secure her first stride. If you cherish kindness, new beginnings, and the wonders that unfold when hearts value more than wealth ever could, please pause to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Tales Stories. Your support keeps tales of hope and humanity thriving for all to witness. Her name was Lily. She was 7, with hair the shade of rich caramel, and eyes that held the sorrow of someone far older than her years. Her wheelchair was her universe, her crown, her cage. She adored watching birds from the terrace, but never pursued them. She loved the patter of rain, but had never danced in puddles. And her father, William Carver, would sometimes linger at the threshold, hands buried in his pockets, gazing at her as if he could will her legs to move. His days revolved around corporate deals and hospital trips, hope and heartache. Somewhere along the line, he stopped speaking of hope aloud. The new caregiver arrived on a dreary morning, rain drumming on the windows like at her fingertips. She wasn't what William anticipated. He pictured someone seasoned, perhaps with years of childcare expertise, formal in demeanor and immaculate in attire. Instead, a young woman stood there, hair tied in a casual braid, eyes brimming with vitality, wearing a sweater with worn edges. Her name was Emma. She didn't balk at the mansion's grandeur or its owner's commanding presence. She simply stepped inside, knelt beside Lily, and greeted her in a voice so soft it felt like the opening of a lullaby. From that first moment, William noticed something unique. Lily didn't avert her eyes as she typically did with strangers. She studied Emma. Emma's days broke from the rigid routines of therapists or the cautious steps of prior caretakers. She brought sunshine through playful tunes, hearty laughter, and the subtle aroma of nutmeg from cookies she baked herself. She never mentioned walking. She never urged Lily to try. Instead, she wove vivid worlds in her imagination, palaces of mist, woodlands where foxes spoke, seashells that murmured mysteries. Sometimes she'd lie on the rug with Lily, gazing at the ceiling, spinning tales that made the girl forget her wheelchair entirely. But William didn't grasp it at first. He thought Emma was squandering time. This wasn't treatment, it was playtime. He reminded her, first gently, then sternly, that he paid for progress. Emma only smiled softly and said that sometimes, before you can teach someone to move their legs, you must teach their heart to soar. He disliked cryptic responses, yet he couldn't ignore the subtle shifts. Lily's giggles returning like gentle waves, her eyes sparkling, her posture less slumped. Weeks passed, and one crisp autumn morning, William returned home earlier than usual. As he crossed the threshold, the parlor's air felt vibrant. Sunlight poured through the windows, casting golden hues across the floor. And then he saw it. Emma lying on her back, legs raised like a joyful bridge, with Lily balanced on her shins, steadied by Emma's firm hands. The girl's knees quivered, her toes clenched tightly, but she stood upright. William's breath hitched. It wasn't walking, not yet, but it was more than he'd ever witnessed. Lily was beaming, uncontainable joy radiating from her as if she'd held it inside for years. For a moment, time stood still. The truth was, Emma had been preparing her for weeks, not by demanding steps, but by threading strength into play, balance games, core exercises masked as fun, teaching Lily's body to trust itself again. She hadn't told William because she knew he measured progress in milestones while she counted it in moments. And now, Here was a moment that could break despair. In the days that followed, Emma nudged gently, always pausing before frustration could creep in. Step by step, supported at first, then less so. The first time Lily moved without holding anything, William sank to the floor speechless, his eyes stinging. It wasn't about wealth anymore. It was about the sound of her bare feet pattering on the hardwood, a sound he once thought he'd never hear. On the afternoon Lily took her first walk across the room. There were no spectators, no cameras, no doctors, just Emma kneeling with open arms and William rooted in place, afraid to blink lest the magic vanish. Lily walked, not steadily but resolutely, into Emma's embrace. William realized then that money hadn't granted his daughter this gift. Love had, patience had, and the courage to believe in the unseen had. If this story warmed your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Tale Stories. Your engagement helps keep stories of hope alive for those who need them most. Before you go, I have one special request. Please comment below with what this story made you feel. Your words might be the spark someone else needs today.